seconds, y'all. I think that has us there. Welcome, Lawrence. Welcome, RJ and Jordan, as well as I want a big shout out for our guest, Steve. I know Lawrence is going to give him a proper introduction, but all of those who are joining live. Oh, there we go. Yep, that's the one that we needed. I hope that you are enjoying us. I'll get the recording going. And you're really not here for me. I mean, I am delightful, but going to turn it over to Lawrence to do our updates as well as to formally introduce Steve.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for your time today. And this is a great one. I think when we all think about AI, and I know right now I'm just thinking about our client conversations. Today's been a wild one. We were talking to a nuclear power plant, and then we talked to a bank, then we talked to a real estate conglomerate firm. All of them are running into the same thing, and they're running into failed go lives. They're running into dealing with the hard part of AI, which is understanding why you got the output that you got. And then at the end of the day, they're scrambling to make sure that the business is satisfied with the solutions that they build for their business. And today, we're very excited to introduce Steve. Steve is a COO partner at Grandview, and he is truly someone that builds AI and has done it successfully, and has a wealth of just information. And we joked about it on the call that we had yesterday to prep, but he uh, he has the bruises of those, go live experiences, but he brings forward to all of his clients that expertise so that they don't have to experience that. So without further ado, I'll give the floor to Steve for a moment to say hi to everyone.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you so much for that very kind introduction, Lawrence. So, looking forward to the discussion today. Love talking about NeuralSeek. Just it makes it makes what we do doable. It makes it fun.
Love it. So with that first question, right? Um, you know, I guess walk us through how you first met us and then how, you came to use NeuralSeek, and what's your overall thoughts? When you think NeuralSeek, what comes to Steve's mind?
But good question. So I've been doing this for a long time, hence the gray. But if I think about each kind of technology wave, we always want to see how the components come together, and you have to be able to answer the why questions. But when the AI wave started years ago, like when the generative AI wave started years ago, we started looking at what it would take to execute on this, and even doing something as simple as a chat bot. You're writing, hundreds and hundreds of lines of code to not do really anything. And I was,
Mhm.
talking to one of my IBM colleagues and said, "Okay, what are you guys doing internally?" And he said, "I think I need to introduce you to someone." And so that's when I, first came about learning about NeuralSeek and spent some time in doing some enablement. And certainly the TechD team and NeuralSeek team helped a tremendous amount doing that. That's what made it work, because I didn't have to write line by line code. I actually could go from a concept to a solution in short order. And it was something that you could actually show a business sponsor and not scare them to death.
I love that. That's like when I think of the origin story of NeuralSeek, it was, you know, there was this problem in the market where there was $20,000 software that then resulted in, $1 million of consultant hours plus a lot of heartburn and heartbreak when it ended up coming crumbling down.
Yep.
Um, so I want to ask you, what do you do to innovate with AI? And from your point of view, you know, what are you excited about and what are you working on with your customers on?
I've thought about that a lot too. If I just roll back even 10 years ago, a lot of our new client introductions, project kickoffs would start out with basic questions, what keeps you up at night? What are you hoping to measure? And all those kind of things. And there's still value in that. Uh, what we couldn't do though is the kind of the thing behind the scenes, particularly if you're talking to, CEO, CFO, or COO, you're talking to them and think about, okay, yeah, I can give you my KPIs. I know what I need to have my finger on the pulse of the business. Tell me something I don't know. And I think that's where AI comes in. It starts drawing inferences from the data and going through different scenarios and kind of challenges almost like uh, a digital replication of some of the sea levels of what's happening and giving you a different view into the world. So you don't have to think about everything you'd want to know kind of yourself. It actually gives you some augmentation, right, to make that process more efficient.
No, I don't know about you, but it's so funny. I feel like I get asked all the time in the first 5 minutes of a call. They're like, what have you done with AI? And what do you do? I feel like more times than not, it's not actually the heat check me or the team. It's all about like they're like genuinely like what can be done.
Right.
Right? So
Yep.
I feel you
Exactly.
on that one. And that actually goes very nicely into this next question. I know this, and don't be humble when you answer this next thing. But I know this, so you're an expert. But why are you an expert in AI? You could definitely like plug the hell out of Grandview here and you and your team. Um, so yeah, share with the audience like why are you an expert?
Well, I think, yeah, and it's very un-Southern like not to be humble. And I won't be humble about my team, but I'll be humble about myself. So I think why we're an expert. And it is a lot of the things we go through. Could clients get there on their own? Yeah. Would it be painful? Absolutely. Would it take them forever? Yeah. And by the time they put together even a simple piece of functionality, they'd learn something and they would like to go back and redo it, but they never have time. So they kind of
Mhm.
created a monster. They created, I use a lot of bad analogies, you know this. They created a pretty little lizard that becomes an alligator, right? Because it gets fit into the process and starts getting used. So why we're experts is we've got those bruises. We've been doing this, 1,850 successful projects. So we can talk through the business process. And that's the why, right? That's why we do any of this. It's how we can squeeze no organization, if you're in the Fortune 50 through the Fortune 5,000, has unlimited resources. We're
Mhm.
all kind of challenged to create more value for our shareholders, whether we're public or private, or whether our constituents, if we're a governmental organization. We all have to focus on how we're driving the most value. And I think that's why Grandview has the expertise, because we're all principal level team members. And we've been through we've jumped those hurdles so our customers don't have to.
No, I love that message, and that's why we love partnering with you on projects. And I know I can speak for everyone here at NeuralSeek and the Tech D company at large. Like you're one of the best.
No, yeah.
We definitely like appreciate all the partnerships, and I think it would be important to talk about like there's also like you're a great partner of the IBM ecosystem, and same with NeuralSeek and TechD. We love partnering with our IBM counterparts. So would love to hear your thoughts on like partnering with IBM at large. Um, I know Brian definitely wanted me to highlight that for the world.
Yeah, it's a pleasure working with the entire team, and it's really as we can view ourselves as advisors or technologists, but it's lots of different options out there, right? And even out of look at 130,000 partners in the IBM ecosystem, there are a handful that we work with on a day-to-day basis, and Tech Dean and NeuralSeek is at the top of that for sure. And I think what it is actually looking at all this technology and it represents potential. But if we don't understand how to leverage it, it stays potential. It doesn't turn into realized value. And so I think that's what's important about working with NeuralSeek, TechD, and IBM, right? Leveraging that technology to drive real business value. And we all know there's been lots and lots of hype over AI the last several years. And it's aggravating because it doesn't have to be hype. We could just talk about real stories. Real stories themselves they're more than sufficient to drive interest.
So I love it. Um, that's all the questions I had. Joy, did I miss anything?
First off, shout out to Steve. One of the goals with doing the monthly AI Innovator Highlight is really just, I don't know, I like this personal mission to get us out of like daydreaming of what AI can do and into like talking about what it is actively doing. And so thank you, Steve, for just setting that bar of what AI is accomplishing as well as your own expertise. I think that it's easy to look at these and be like, oh yeah, it's working. But it really is working because of the expertise. So if everybody who's joining us live, everyone in the audience, give Steve a round of applause.
Oh my goodness.
And
Thank you guys
thank
for the
you.
opportunity. It's a pleasure. You guys are great. It's always a pleasure.
So thank you very much, Steve. And with that, we'll go through the rest of our agenda for today. Today, on the rest of our agenda, Lawrence, we have you highlighting items that we're active in, upcoming events. RJ, as always, we're going to jump over to you after that, where you're going to give us some insight into products that and innovations that are happening on NeuralSeek. And then Jordan, there's always a lot happening with certificates, documentation, and those ones. So I'm going to mute myself again and we'll just go through that standard agenda. Thank you.
I want to highlight 2 weeks ago, we had our first in-person hackathon happen with Stony Brook University, which was an unbelievable success. And, all of these students building amazing things on top of NeuralSeek just talks to how we're really building a platform to democratize AI and share it with the world. And we had such an outpouring on LinkedIn. So thank you to everyone who posted and tagged us. I know that this has actually led to real opportunities for those students where they're able to possibly showcase to the world the cool AI project they did and get seen by a business looking for and hiring an AI engineer. NeuralSeek, this is really hitting us in our core mission statement of democratizing AI. And it's actually turned into a really awesome series of events where customers are having us connect them to students that built interesting projects. So thank you to all the participants at Stony Brook University, as well as all the people that continuously tag us in the cool stuff that they make. We love celebrating those and sharing those on our page and reposting it. And then outside of that, as NeuralSeek continues to grow, we're definitely going to start doing a wider, more public announcement of our integrations that we're having released to the market. I've been really excited. We're going to start releasing some integrations to things like Hey Reach, a popular LinkedIn automation tool, as well as things like HubSpot, of course, is like a CRM. With that, I'll pass it off to RJ.
Hey guys, so let me get my screen share up. All right, perfect. And we can see the Slack window. So this week we brought to general availability our direct Slack integration. So this works pretty much out of the box. You install a Slack app and point the event URL at us. There's directions on how to do this right in the platform, right? So right here we have a new Slack extension stuff. All you really need to do is add your Slack credentials and then any additional settings if you want to customize the placeholder message or anything of that nature. But really a drop-in experience. Lawrence has been building with Slack, so maybe next month we can show off like a fully featured app with Slack. But you can come in and see like hey, I have dynamic personalization running in the background. So every time, nope, it doesn't work in this instance. That's okay. But we have new dynamic personalization that goes hand in hand with the new Slack features. When you go into the configure tab, I have tons of stuff to cover. So here we have dynamic personalization, right? I have another instance where this is set up, but you have the ability to set an agent to run before every flow. So like in situations where maybe you can't update the request coming from Watson or coming from Slack or coming from like any other external source, right? You're able to go in and define what personalization means. So we have an example agent here for it. Right, so we're able to come in and like make an API call. So you're provided with like the user ID, what the user said, what session ID we're in, and then you're able to provide details. So like, based on this user ID, who are they? What do we know about them? Do they have a limited subset of documents? Do we want to welcome them, right? All the personalization goodies that NeuralSeek normally gives you from the API. Beyond that, yeah, there's more. So when we go into the configuration, you'll notice there's new custom governance, right? So effectively, you're able to go in and define custom rules around inputs or outputs if you want to block things, if you want to take a specific action. Um, here. There we go, custom governance. Okay, there we go. So you're able to say, do we want to block the response? We're unable to answer questions about this topic using an LLM prompt, right? If we're talking about the state of New Jersey, right? And then we can effectively say like, hey, do we want to block this based on some custom rule set, or what do we want to do? And then the same for after LLM generation, we have the opposite of that. I think that one, my browser isn't loading it. It's all right though. In any case, we have a lot of new other new things that have came into the platform. We have new integrations, a lot of Slack goodies, but also the ability to run agents before and after saving. Also, we have the new Run tab. This has been around for a little while, but you're able to build dynamic dashboards, and this ties into the custom governance. You're also able to build your own dashboards here in the governance tab. So we're able to see, charted stats. So if we want to see like, hey, this is what the weather is like, we can come in and add new dashboards. Boom. Awesome. I think that sums things up pretty well. You want to hand it off to you, Jordan?
Sounds good. Thank you, RJ.
Yeah.
I'm also going to grab a screen share here. And while I move this panel off to, well, the bottom, let's minimize our Zoom screen. And then I'll start by covering some documentation as always. And then I'd really like to highlight our ever updating website and where to locate some of these items, whether it's community related, certificate related, or you need some more info and documentation related. So as always, documentation.neuralseek.com is where our technical guides and technical resources related to NeuralSeek live. NeuralSeek documentation is coming soon to have a pretty big change and new updates towards documentation. So be on the lookout for a ton of new features being added, new updates towards guides, how to utilize either our custom governance, good use cases for the run dashboards, if you're looking to implement some dynamic dashboards based off of really your use case. Whether that be tracking feedback, tracking governance, Our weather example is a really good one. Any sort of interactive agents that you're working with within Maestro. So we'll be updating those guides here on our documentation page. Explore the UI is also going to come up with some new updates. This is where you can walk through each of the tabs of NeuralSeek, learn a little bit more about what each feature does, especially diving deeper into those tuning levers for configure's sake or even Maestro nodes. So if you're looking at a few of these functions while you're building within NeuralSeek and need to learn a little bit more about the parameters, that's all available here under the Explore the Interface tab. And then again, changelog and or more about NeuralSeek will redirect us to our main NeuralSeek website page, which I am going to highlight here. Our website is always undergoing some new improvements and changes, and it's really looking so great. So I wanted to talk about these top tabs for where you can find these resources and navigate to. Product will give us some info about our platform or even take us to our AI agent marketplace, where if you're navigating Maestro and looking to build some new AI agents, our documentation page is a really good technical resource guide for what do these functions do? How do I stack and chain elements? What is the agent scheduler? But if you're looking for what's already pre-built and out of the box working as AI agents within NeuralSeek, the AI agent marketplace on the website gives a really great overview of hundreds of AI agents, what they're utilized for, as well as some searchable terms such as that this is for general business users or this is more specific to my industry. Use cases, pricing, trust center, white papers, and then a link to the documentation are all available under product as well. And then ecosystem is where our community or certification or internship efforts really live. The community page is a free account, so I highly recommend just create an account within the NeuralSeek community page. It doesn't cost you a thing, but it'll definitely reward you with the amount of information that is shared here, specifically within our conversation dashboards. So whether that be new feature announcements directly from the NeuralSeek pipeline, right? New features here by Garrett Rowe from August as they continually get updated. So we can check those out or as they update the changelog and documentation. If you're looking for feature requests or wondering if someone else has already requested a feature in the pipeline, that discussion board is available as well. And then there's some general discussion and product Q&A discussion. And we see a lot of great discussions around our community efforts within general discussion. So this is loaded with information, tasks, resources from our internships or our cohort community program. And then product Q&A is where we can come and ask those questions either about our direct build or about specific features within NeuralSeek and have real NeuralSeek experts respond back to us. Or engage with the community, right? You might see someone else already asking about speech to text LLMs, if this is in the pipeline or this is something that I need some help with. And then we can have NeuralSeek experts or community experts, right? As our community effort is always growing and more users are certified as NeuralSeek experts, and we can open that dialogue here and get some real good conversation, but also answers to all of your questions directly within these community page forums. I'm going to jump backwards to neuralseek.com just to re-navigate to ecosystem and then our certifications page. I'm going to start first with applying for the internship. So if you're looking to get involved with NeuralSeek's 6-week program internship, then the application system is available here directly from our website. It talks a little bit about the role, how it's a fully virtual event, as well as the commitment time load. All of this information is available directly within the internship application. And then it also explains our certification paths. So we currently have, sorry, there we go. We currently have 3 certification paths, and I'll walk through each one. Level 1 certification is available at either the end of the 6-week internship cohort, or if you're looking to jump ahead, this is also available at labs.neuralseek.com, where it walks you through getting started with NeuralSeek and 3 different challenges that are introductory level towards NeuralSeek, whether that's getting set up, seeking and tuning and curating my answers, and then how do I dive into Maestro, getting started, exploring our AI agent marketplace, and then 2 use cases where you can actually implement your building. Of course, closing steps, and then get certified directly within NeuralSeek's certification program. So this is our level 1 certification, a self-service 15-question quiz. Enter your name and email as you wish for it to appear on your certification. Submit that quiz, and then it will be issued directly to the email that you entered here. It's also available as a pipeline if you want to have some direct, more hands-on training with NeuralSeek throughout the certification, the cohort internship. That hands-on training will get you prepared to take level 1 as well. Level 2 is awarded for your active participation, whether live or the recorded sessions at the end of 6 weeks. It's considered our agentic AI for business platform or pipeline, and it's a really great certification process that'll get you understanding real-world business use cases with NeuralSeek and how AI fits into our developing technology world, right? How it fits into project planning, asking really great questions, ethics within AI, and get you prepared to build your own NeuralSeek agent, your own AI agent, which will encompass the level 3 certification. Definitely more technically involved and in-depth, but that'll get you NeuralSeek certified and that expertise that you're looking for when it comes to building AI agents and navigating the platform. That internship is available. If I continue to scroll, there's a few pre-screening questions, your standard information. And then the certifications page, you will need to log in order to kick off one of these pipelines, but each one is available now. So AI Agents Foundations is our first one. That will take us to labs.neuralseek.com. And then Agentic AI for Business and Multi-Tier AI Agent Architecture are also proctored courses or 2 hours of self-learning, where we can go ahead and click and dive into earning that certification.
Thank you so much, Jordan. I hope you celebrate how much effort goes into all of our certification process. We try to make it easy and accessible. So delighted with that. Once again, thank you everyone for the monthly webinar today. And I hope you all have a delightful afternoon wherever you're at. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.